First of all, I need to apologize to Joel Schumacher, because for the past 21 years, comic book fans have blamed him for the death of superhero movies in the late 90s with the release of 1997's Batman and Robin. But this is actually not the case, because Tim Burton killed superhero movies 4 years prior with the release of 1992's Batman Returns. In the mid-80s, superhero movies were in a slump, with movies like Superman 3 and Superman 4 Quest for Peace, and Howard the Duck being the death nail. But in 1985, Warner Brothers had the idea to re-image Batman, taking him away from his campy 1960s TV persona to a darker, more visceral character. Tim Burton, who had just come off the success of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, was hired to direct the film, and Sam Hamm, an avid comic book fan, was tapped to write the screenplay. In the summer of 1989, Batman was released, and it was a huge success, grossing $43.6 million in its opening weekend. And it received mostly positive reviews, and merchandise went through the roof. Action figures, t-shirts, video games, Diet Coke commercials, cereal, the whole nine. Batman was a promotional juggernaut, and Warner Brothers wanted to keep that money train rolling. After the commercial success of Batman, Warner Brothers was hoping for a sequel to start filming a year later in May of 1990. But Tim Burton did not want to direct the sequel unless he had creative control. Warner Brothers gave him that. Sam Hamm was set to return as writer and already had a script ready which saw Catwoman and Penguin trying to find a hidden treasure. Dissatisfied with Hamm's script, Burton had Sam Hamm fired and replaced with Heather's writer Daniel Waters, who came up with the plot for the Penguin running for mayor. Burton also hired Cape Fear writer Wesley Strick to do an uncredited rewrite. Dick Grayson, aka Robin, was in the original script and was cast as comedian Marlon Wayans landed the role of the Boy Wonder, but sadly the character was removed from the script, with writer Daniel Waters calling Robin the most worthless character in the world. With Batman Returns release on the horizon, Warner Brothers went on a merch and promotional overload, with more action figures, video games, maintaining their relationship with Diet Coke, and building a relationship with the fast food chain McDonald's. Warner Brothers was betting on Batman Returns to be an even bigger success than its predecessor. Little did they know that this movie would be the biggest PR nightmare they've ever had. Batman Returns was released on June 19, 1992. And it was a success, earning $45.69 million its first weekend, and it also received favorable reviews. But it was when parents took their kids to see the movie that the problem started. It turned out that a grotesque, ghoulish, John Wayne Gacy-looking version of the Penguin, who wanted to kidnap and drown babies, wasn't suitable for children, those same children they sold action figures and Happy Meals to. Parents were outraged because the first Batman was such family fun, and this had the Red Triangle Circus Gang in it. Parents wrote letters to Warner Brothers asking how they could promote such a violent, gross horror film to their kids. And McDonald's wanted to get as far away from the backlash as possible by shutting down their Happy Meal promotion for the film. Because Batman Returns lost Warner Brothers so much money in the long run, the studio asked Tim Burton to step down as director for the third film, Batman Forever, and tapped Joel Schumacher as director, while Tim Burton took a producer role. Husband and wife screenwriter couple Lee and Janet Scott Batchelor were hired to write the script, but were later replaced by the client writer Akiva Goldsman. Michael Keaton stepped down as Batman and was replaced by Val Kilmer. Marlon Wayans, who was originally cast as Robin, was also replaced by a young actor named Chris O'Donnell. With Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones rounding out the brand new cast as the villains Riddler and Two-Face, Batman Forever began filming in September of 1994 and was released on June 16, 1995. Batman Forever was the total opposite of Burton's Batman Returns film, with more colorful sets, over-the-top villains, and a more MTV-friendly soundtrack. Batman Forever crushed Batman Returns and Batman 89's opening box office earning by bringing in $52.8 million. This movie became the most commercially profitable Batman film so far. Warner Brothers even got their McDonald's deal back, as well as one of the largest Batman toy lines ever. With the box office success of Batman Forever, Warner Brothers immediately greenlighted a sequel. Joe Schumacher and Akiva Goldsman returned as director and writer, while Warner Brothers severed ties with Tim Burton when it comes to Batman altogether. Val Kilmer decided not to return as the Dark Knight. Instead, the role was given to ER star George Clooney, who was mostly a TV actor at the time. Chris O'Donnell reprised his role as Robin, and Alicia Silverstone was added to the team as Batgirl, while Uma Thurman and Arnold Schwarzenegger were added as villains Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. Batman and Robin began filming in August of 1996 and was released on June 20th, 1997, only grossing $42 million in its opening weekend, which is a decline from the previous film, and it was ripped apart by fans and critics alike. Director Joel Schumacher criticized Warner Brothers' strategy for Batman and Robin as being overtly toyetic. Even though Batman and Robin did horribly at the box office, Warner Brothers moved forward with plans for a fifth film, which would be called Batman Unchained. But that would be scrapped, and along with that, Hollywood's fascination with superhero films. I know a lot of people are saying, why is Tim Burton to blame for this? Isn't it Warner Brothers' greed that did the genre in? And what about all those other bad superhero films that came out that year? Aren't they to blame too? Well, yes and no. Warner Brothers was just doing what a movie studio does, which was trying to make money. And Batman made them a lot of money. And Tim Burton ruined that by making an art film out of Batman in the 90s when Warner Brothers just wanted to siphon millions of dollars out of 8-year-olds and their parents. Which is why when Batman Returns got so much backlash for making 8-year-old Timmy cry in the theater, Batman became super kid friendly, and that bled over into other superhero movies. Why the hell do you think we got a PG-13 Spawn? Because Tim Burton wouldn't get off his high horse and do what he was told and tone down Batman Returns. So in hindsight, you could blame him for the fucking Bat credit card. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, click the like button. Also subscribe for future videos and also share with your friends. See you later.